Good day everyone, I am Leslie Anagramon, the first presenter of this group. And I would like to introduce to you my group mates, Miss Andrea Joy Calamasa, Miss Karen Cristel Ancheta, Miss Marjeline Gabitan, and Mr. Vincent Jan Abella. And the topic that we choose is all about social system. In sociology, social system is a pattern network of relationships constituting a coherent whole that exists between individuals, groups, and institutions. It is the formal structure of role and status that can form a small and stable group. Social system assists us comprehend that a person is a product of his or her social surroundings. One situation will be discussed in this presentation, and this is poverty. We all know that poverty is one of the current issues that the majority of countries are dealing with. So, Mr. Vincent Jan Abella will be discussing about the poverty.
Absolute poverty, destitution. The deprivation of basic needs, which commonly includes food, water, sanitation, clothing, shelter, healthcare, and education. Relative poverty. Economic quality in the location or society in which people live. Measuring poverty. It means not having enough to feed and clothe a family. Not having a school or clinic to go to. Not having the land on which to grow one's food or job to earn one's living. Not having access to credit. It means insecurity, powerlessness, and exclusion of individuals, household and communities. It means susceptibility to violence, and it often implies living in marginal or fragile environments without access to clean water or sanitation. It includes low incomes and the inability to acquire the basic goods and services necessary for survival with dignity. Poverty also encompasses low level of health and education, poor access to clean water and sanitation, inadequate physical security, lack of voice, and insufficient capacity and opportunity to better one's life. Hence, relative poverty is a measure of income inequality. Usually, relative poverty is measured as the percentage of population with income less than some fixed proportion of median income.
So poverty may also be understood as an aspect of unequal social status and inequitable social relationships, experienced as social exclusion, dependency, and diminished capacity to participate or to develop meaningful connections with other people in society. So such social exclusion can be minimized through strengthens connections with the mainstream, such as through the provision of relational care to those who are experiencing poverty. And economic aspects of poverty focus on material needs, like or typically including the necessities of daily being or daily living, I should say, such as food, clothing, shelter, or safe drinking water. So poverty in this sense may be understood as a condition in which a person or a community is lacking in the basic needs for a minimum standard of well-being and life. So particularly as a result of persistent lack of income. So the effects of poverty may also be causes. So poverty is caused by social inequity, a lack of education, poor income, unemployment, and starvation. So poverty, on the other hand, can be caused by climate change and pandemics.
This is the reinforcing loop of poverty. As you can see, all of these are positive. This is the cycle of poverty causes. Poverty has plus sign on unequal social status. because poverty causes unequal treatment to people depends on their status. That can lead to lack of education. It is the reason why most people are unemployed. That can cause of low income or lack of money. We're not able to buy some foods, that's why our body become lack of strength or malnutrition. So people will not able to work, that ends of poverty. Second reinforcing loop of poverty is the same as the first, but we added the climate change, no farming, and starvation. These are causes and leads to poverty, that's why it has positive sign. Climate change causes our environment, that's why farmers are affected because of climate change. Starvation causes malnutrition. This is the feeling that our body become weak or tired. That is the reason why people has no jobs or unemployed. Leads to lack of money. That's why people has not enough food for it. Food to eat can cause malnutrition. Not healthy person, so they have difficulty finding a job, that cause of poverty.
If there is a poverty, therefore there are more unequal social status. And the more unequal social status, the more lack of education. But in order to balance the loop, we think a solution, which is the more subsidies for the education and the more benefits by the government for the education, the lesser the unemployment. And the lesser the unemployment, there will be the income, and that income will provide the needs of a person. But it is not enough to stop the malnutrition, but it will lessen only the malnutrition and also the poverty. Another thing is climate change is one of the reasons why there is a poverty. The more changing the climate, the more no farming, because it is either La Nina or El Nino that will destroy the crops. Hence, some people was born to be a street smart. Therefore, they will look for alternative jobs. That's why it will lessen the unemployment. The more employment, the more income will provide. Of course, it will lessen the malnutrition and also the poverty.